I'm Peggy O'Neill, and welcome to today's live learning the value of being happy besides being happy. And I'm Peggy O'Neill, and I'm the host, founder of this Facebook community, Answering the Call. And I've been coaching for more than 30 years and practiced law before that, but have been on the path of knowing who we truly are for many years, and now that's the work that we do here in Answering the Call. And by answering the call, I mean in two ways. One is the call, that longing, that sense that there's something more to life, or there's something I'm here to accomplish, or what's really going on here. That sort of longing is actually an invitation from ourselves, source, to ourselves, to know who we truly are. And then there's a second call. Once we know our essential nature and the oneness that we are, then we want to express that in our own unique way. And so that's the second aspect of answering the call. Oh, what is my unique way to express who I truly am, my essential nature? And so we're exploring both of those simultaneously here in Answering the Call. And today specifically, like I said, we're exploring the value of being happy. And hi, Sharon. And if you're here live, besides Sharon, hi, Sharon, welcome, welcome. Welcome if you're here live, and please put in here hashtag live or say hi, as Sharon has. If you're watching this on replay, please put hashtag replay. If you have any questions or comments live, please post them and I'll answer them as we go along. Or later, you can come back, or if you're watching this on replay and have questions or comments, I will reply to those as well. So let's dive right in. Well, of course, the value of being happy besides being happy. I mean, being happy in and of itself is a great value for being happy, right? Why? Because when we're happy, and by happy today, what I'm talking about is that sense of contentment. All's well with the world in my life. That's what we all long for. We truly want to feel that sense of just happiness. So not the giddy, oh, happy birthday happiness, or I've had 10 drinks happiness. Well, you probably wouldn't be happy at that point, would you? Anyway, but not that kind of happiness, but that deep sense of, again, all is well, contentment in the world. So that's valuable in and of itself. And just recently, someone said to me that it felt a little trivial to want to be happy or happiness. And it came to me at that time that we do live in a culture where, of course, often when we think of happiness, we do think of the kind of the hollow kind of happiness. But also in our culture, or Judeo-Christian culture, for sure, the westernized culture, we're born sinners, right? We're really not supposed to be happy. Or if our parents weren't happy, we might have an underlying sense that I can't be happier than them. Or what's going on in society, I can't be happy. Especially the last few days, depending on when you're watching this. We've had several mass shootings just in the last couple of weeks. So this sense of it's not okay for me to be happy, or who am I to be happy? And so I'm going to invite us to a different conversation than that it's trivial. I'm going to invite us to the conversation that it's actually essential. It is our essential nature, and we're actually, if we're not experiencing it, we're seeking it. And by our essential nature, think about it. If who we are as source, and I'm not getting into that in detail today because we've talked about it a lot, so today that's not the main topic. But if who we are is source, God's infinite being is the religious name, then that is our essential nature, is this happiness, peace, fulfillment. We seek that, and we seek it because it's an invitation to know ourselves, to know that peace and happiness. So if you have any questions about that, hope I'm expressing that well, that is our birthright, if you will. We are actually here to be happy and to express that happiness. So let's explore the value and why. So I've already addressed, so I said we'd address happiness is our essential nature, and I've been talking about that. And if we ask anybody, let's say anything you want in life, let's say you want more money, or you want a better relationship, or go on and on and on. If we ask, the first question might be with money, why? I want to feel more secure. Well, that's a version of peace or happiness, right? I want to feel satisfied, content, safe. That's a version of happiness. I want a better relationship because we think that will make us happy. If we were told, well, if you have, or sometimes just want a relationship, if you want a relationship but you're going to be miserable, well, we wouldn't want it. So we think those things will make us happy, but yet we already are happiness. And so when we can bring that happiness to our relationships. So that's our essential nature, is happiness. Now, so what are the benefits of being happy in the workplace? Well, it's been found happier leaders make better leaders. Well, then think about it. Who do we like to be around? We like to be around people who feel whole and complete. Because again, that's what we're talking about with happiness, that we're whole and complete. We're not needing something else. If we're not feeling happy or content, then we're probably seeking it in some way, which by definition, if we're seeking it, then we're lacking it. So we're going about life in a mode of lack and seeking instead of, wait, I'm already whole and complete and content. So that's the kind of leadership that really is inspiring to people and they want to be around. It's also been found that happier people make better salespeople. I mean, they make more money in sales. Again, think about it. Who do we like to be around? We like to be around people that don't feel needy, that are expressing happiness, that seem to be enjoying life. Better relationships in the workplace, again, for the same reasons. We have better relationships, better communication, we're more open, because if we're feeling happy and okay with ourselves and life, then we are naturally more open. We're not defending ourselves or as defended. We're more open, and we're more relating and curious and sharing. Happiness is contagious. They've found that in neighborhoods. They find people in neighborhoods that are happy, and the more of the neighborhood is happy. It's contagious. And so imagine a workforce of people that are happy, that are naturally coming from happiness, expressing happiness. Then they're going to be more creative, better relationships, again, better sales, leadership. So it's a phenomenal thing to not be seeking. To start from, to know ourselves as happiness, and then to create that in the workplace. Just imagine a workplace like that and what could happen in that business. Incredible. Sarah. Yeah. Hi, Sarah. It's great to see you here. Yeah, babies laugh and we laugh. Great example, yes, of the contagion that it is, just this natural happiness that is our being naturally, and it's just been veiled over all these years with underlying, with the condition of society, like I mentioned early on, that we're not supposed to be happy. And who are we to be happy? I was told that when I was a kid. Were you? Who are you to be so happy? What are you so happy about? And so we suppress that and we veil it over with beliefs that it's not okay or that it's trivial, instead of the gift that it is to bring to life that sense of fulfillment and peace and happiness. So hi, Sarah. And then how being happy enhances your personal life and achieving your heart's desires. Well, again, in our personal lives, if we come to a relationship as happy, or as we go along, as we become better at knowing our essential nature and bringing that to our relationships, then we don't look for the other person to satisfy our happiness. So we're bringing happiness to the relationship. So we're expanding happiness in the relationship from the beginning. Now, it doesn't mean there won't be disagreements. It doesn't mean that there won't be dissatisfaction. But when we know our essential nature is happiness, then we do our own personal work with our happiness instead of looking to the other person to make us happy, or that they're the problem in why I'm not happy. So our relationships then automatically start on a stronger footing and continue to be on a stronger footing. And then we're more attractive. People want to be around happy people. Um, and we're more open to, so back to our heart's desires. We have our heart's desires. We're here to manifest. We're here to create. We're here to express source in all its fullness and our fullness. And so if we're coming from happiness, we're not seeking it first or seeking it elsewhere, but we're actually based in this happiness that we are, then we're going to be more open to ideas, more creative, experiencing the flow of life, open to that flow and expressing it. So that's why it's going to be more, it's going to be easier, may not be the right word, but somewhat, it's going to feel easier to create our heart's desires because we feel in alignment with our essential nature. We already feel happy, so we're not looking for something else to do something for us. And we're coming from source, which is, again, our essential nature of happiness. Let's see if I covered everything. So again, so the value of being happy, of course, it's our essential nature, so we're knowing our essential nature. And that alone is invaluable, because then we're living every day as this happy being. Or by happy, again, I mean content, satisfied, whole, knowing I'm this incredibly beautiful, happy person. And then, so I'm living my life in that way and sharing that with other people. Sarah, happiness is 50% genetic, amazing, 40% we can change. I love happiness. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I think a lot of people in the happiness field do say that about genetics. I'm proposing that our essential nature is happiness, that when we know that we're one with source, that we can access the happiness that we are, and we may be talking about a different kind of happiness, so I'm talking about the essential nature of reality of the human being is happiness, peace, love. That is our essential nature. So, and then the benefits of happiness in the workplace, again, better relationships, we're happier, we're enjoying it, enjoying work, and we're expressing that satisfaction with customers, co-workers. So the exponential possibility of enjoying work and better leadership and being able to express ourselves more fully, because that's really, when people work, that's what we want to do. Yes, we want a paycheck, but we also, at some level, want to be excited every day about contributing our gifts to the world, what we're here to uniquely express. So that's what opens up as possible in the workplace too, and it's an environment of happiness. And then again, when we're happy, we bring happiness to our relationships and our personal life, and we're not needy, and so we begin to expand the happiness in our own lives and other people's lives around us. And then it's easier to achieve our heart's desires, or at least we feel, and by easier, sometimes it's challenging to achieve our heart's desires, but it's easier in the sense that we know that we're being guided. We know we're moving in that direction. We can feel it as we go along, that we're expressing our heart's desires all along the way, even though, yes, some of the path could be pretty challenging to create the heart's desires, but it's a sense of knowing that I'm happy as I go along and not waiting till the end. Okay, great, Sarah. So we're right in sync. And then Sharon, my essential nature is happy. There's nothing more that I can do to be happier. Exactly. And then that frees us up even more, right? Because if I think I've got to seek something to be happy, then I'm always looking out there. And in fact, if we're seeking, then we're ignoring the happiness we are, or we've forgotten the happiness that we are. And so there's always going to be this gap and this kind of hole. So again, to come back, H-O-L-E, come back to the wholeness, W-H-O-L-E, that we are, and offer that to our relationships, our workplace, our lives. And then, let's see, I wanted to come back to the trivial part, because I've been challenged by that word too, especially at the beginning. It does seem trivial, and yet, if we honor that we're here, this magnificent being expressing the magnificent or divine being that we are, then who are we not to be happy? Not unlike that Marianne Williamson poem or article that she wrote some time ago about who are we not to be, what was it, the light of the world or something like that, or to be our greatest selves. Yes, we're here to express the divine being, source. So who are we not to be happy? And does it take some sort of application? Yes, because we've veiled ourselves over with beliefs, habits, constructs, cultural norms that can make it seem like it's at a distance. So that's okay. We can connect with our essential nature of happiness, and I'll give you a way to do that right now in just a second. We can connect with it, and anytime we feel that we're not connected to it, which we always are, but we can feel it, we can get distracted by activities and maybe feelings of unhappiness, we can remind ourselves, oh wait, I'm already that being, and we can sink back into that. So next week, I'm offering the direct path to happiness, which does relate to happiness as well as to peace, fulfillment, love, because it is a direct path to our essential nature. So you're invited to join us next week starting Tuesday. There are several links posted throughout the Facebook group, and I'll post it again in the comments to this session today. So if you have not yet registered, please register. It's at noon Central all next week, or 1 o'clock Eastern, so I'm not confusing. 1 o'clock Eastern, starting Tuesday through Saturday. And if you can't be there live, we're live on Zoom. If you can't be there live, then you can join us. I mean, you can watch the replays, and it'll also be streamed in the Facebook group if you prefer not to be on Zoom but want to be in the group. So the replays, you'll be sent a link every day to the replays. So you want to register, so you get the link to Zoom, to get the link to the replays, and to get the notebook. So I hope you'll join us you'll experience more deeply than you will in what I'm going to give you right now. You'll experience the direct path to happiness. You'll experience that. And there'll be other exercises and experiences throughout the week, and then how to continue to apply that and grow that, although you can't really grow it because we already are the happiness, but how to continue on that path. You'll have some specific things that you can do that you'll learn throughout the week that you can continue with after the week. So I do hope you'll join us if you haven't yet registered. So what can you do today that we'll explore more deeply next week is to ask yourself, am I aware? Like right now, you're aware that you're here. You're aware that you're hearing me. And then ask yourself, am I aware of all of that? And if that's not a great question for you, that does throw some people off. You can ask, do I know that I'm aware? Oh yeah, I know that I'm aware of all of this. And so it's that knowing, when we can sit there for a few seconds, maybe at the beginning, we just sense that immediate calm and peace and vastness. And that's our essential nature. It's there all the time, always in the background, informing everything that we do and say, whether we know it or not. And so we can connect back there as often and as long as we want, every day. And the more that we go back there, technically, that's not the right wording, but in our human experience, we have to communicate it in some way. So that's the way to talk about it. The reason I say we don't go back there is because it's always there. There's nothing to go back to. But as we get started, and as a concession to our separate self, then we've got to talk to ourselves in some way that makes sense. So we sink back into that knowing. And that's when we know the happiness that we are, that we naturally and inherently are. Yes, Sarah, happiness is so important. You're welcome, Sarah. I'm so glad that you're here today. You said no, the most important quality in life. Okay, I'm not so sure what that was in response to, but yes, I'm with you that it's the most important. Yeah, well, it's our central nature. I mean, it's just the reality of life is, yes, the happiness that we are. Okay, great. Any other questions or comments before I say goodbye today? And again, please join us next week for Direct Path to Happiness. Love for you to join us. You'll see some testimonials in the group of people that have attended before. People do create great value for themselves. Okay? Let's see. Happiness isn't silly. Yep, exactly right. It's so important. Not silly. It's our gift. It's our gift to express, our gift to honor life, the sacredness of life, actually, to be happy. It's sacred to bring that to our lives, express that in the world, to know that we are one with everything, and to be the happiness that we are. You're welcome, Sarah. It's nice to see you. Well, sort of see you too. And I love you too. Thank you. All right. Bye. See you soon. See you next week. Or, yeah, see you next week. Oh, we will not have a Facebook Live next week because of the ongoing event. So, so join us for the event. But no Facebook Live like this next week. But we'll see you in 2 weeks in this format. You're welcome, Sharon. Thank you for being here.